Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Peach Podcast with Seductive Peach. I'm so happy to be live with y'all again today. We have a special guest today, music artist King Wavvy, and he's here to tell his story about his mental health struggle and where he was and where he is today. And it's a very inspiring, motivating story. So I hope everyone is sharing the live, tapping in. Please make sure you guys like, follow if you're not following, and you will get the next notification if you're following of when we're live again. I want to say welcome to King Wavvy. Good to have you on the show.
Hey, what's going on? How you doing?
Good to see you. Good to have you
Great to
back.
see you. We had a great talk yesterday, and I believe this is going to be a great show.
Oh yes, most definitely. We had an amazing talk, and I'm very impressed with how far you came after everything you've been through. Now, first off, guys, I want to start off by saying the show all this week is going to be on mental health awareness. It's a very important topic that not enough people discuss. So we're going to be discussing it on the podcast all week, different topics about mental health, different ways to support your loved ones and try to be more understanding to their mental health. Also different ways to cope with mental health and different ways to get through it, because you don't have to stay depressed forever. There are ways to cope and actually get through it as well. So first off, we're going to start by, before King Wavy tells his story, a lot of people might ask, well, what is good mental health? Well, the ability to have motivation to engage in life. Like when you're really depressed and stuff, you have no motivation. You just, you feel blah, you want to stay in bed, all that stuff. And good mental health is being able to still push yourself out of bed, stay motivated, keeping yourself motivated no matter what, and control behaviors. Every person, that, might act in a certain, manner, their excuse might be sometimes your mental health. The thing is you can't always use your mental health as a crutch or an excuse for why you're behaving the way you are, because you can't control your behavior. Experience and managing your emotions. Like if you have an experience that's, obviously, something that might really affect you, you're going to be emotional, but there are different ways to handle those emotions. You don't have to always, act out in a very violent, angry way, to handle and cope with your emotions. There are other tactics and ways to go about doing those things. And we'll go through all this stuff this week. Also tolerating distress. Like we all, I think, tolerate stress on a daily basis, but it's really all about how much you tolerate and how much you can tolerate and what you do with that distress. Your actions. It's really is all about your behavior being controlled in your actions. Thinking clearly. When you coping in situations that trigger distress, like different ways you can cope. Everyone has their own, different ways they might cope with different things. Thinking clear. It helps you think clear. Like if you're thinking clearly, you're going to be able to make better decisions on the way you act and the way you behave because you're thinking clear. All emotions have a function. That's important too, to remember. All emotions have a function. And, you can change a situation just like this sometimes just by your mood, or about the way you go about the situation to control the situation. Like sometimes if I'm having a conversation and I see somebody maybe getting a little aggy or something, like they're bothered, I might try to handle the situation in such a manner where I seem like I don't notice that, even though I do subconsciously. And I attack it by, okay, we're loading. And I attack it by, trying to be, how do you say? I don't want to say
Understanding.
understanding, but sometimes some people, when they come off aggy or like they're about to come at you or they come at you, you have to sometimes handle that maybe being a little passive aggressive. Like, being polite, be polite about it. You can still be polite and get your point across. That's another thing a lot of people don't realize. You don't have to, because when you're yelling and everything, you're not getting your point across. No one's hearing that. All they're hearing is yelling. When you're able to actually talk to someone directly and get your point across, like, I mean, that's super important. So, there's different ways on handling different things. Someone else that might see someone getting irritated, they might start getting irritated too. Like, what are you getting irritated for? No, instead of even asking them that or acting like you noticed that, go ahead and act like you don't see that and just handle the situation appropriately, but that's just, just a couple different things to think about on your mental health. Like, your mental health is the way you think, you feel, you act. So first, the way you're thinking. Always positive thinking, positive thoughts, positive mind. You will have a positive life. The way you feel. If you think more positive, you're going to feel more positive. You're going to act more positive. That might be easier for some people than others because, there's things that happen in everyone's life. There's things that happen in my life, but I still always try to keep a very positive attitude and positive mindset no matter what. Because if you don't, it can drive you crazy. It can make you feel like you're helpless. It can make you feel depressed. It can make you, in a place you don't want to be. So you always want to try to stay very positive, But we're going to go ahead before we touch bases on some other notes I have. And let's hear music artist King Wavvy's story. And first, take your time. First off, take your time. It's not a race. There's no rush. Take your time telling your story so people can really fully understand where you were at and how far you've came.
Okay. Well, my story starts at a very young age. I was actually born a crack addicted baby. My mom was doing drugs. My mom was doing drugs. She was also drinking, basically doing it all. And I came out, and I was like 5 pounds, 2 ounces, whatever. And they didn't think I was gonna make it. They did not think I was gonna make it. I was on a breathing machine for 2 months, and they still let my mom take me home. Well, everything was good all the way up until 1, and then 1, I started getting yelled at all the time. I was mistreated. I was beat. I was talked down to so much, and then 2 and 3 came around, and it just got worse. And I was just going through beatings after beatings, and then my mom was. She actually sold me and my sister off for drugs and let guys rape us. So that's very traumatic. But my dad, he was no better. He was a cokehead. He was an alcoholic. He didn't care about his children. He's got 6 kids, and he didn't care one bit about any one of them. So about 4 years old, I was actually in school. And these teachers, I was at lunch, and these teachers found that I was like shaking and whatever, and they came over and asked me what was going on. And they brought me to the office because they started seeing black and blue marks on me. So when they brought me to the office, they asked me what had happened, and they pulled a caseworker in and everything. So then they pulled me out of my mom's house. I was actually placed in foster care, and basically, I've been in and out the system my entire life. From the age of 4 to the age of 18. My dad beat me. My dad molested me.
Okay, hold on. Slow down, because this is a lot to take in. So let me understand correctly. So you came out You were on a breathing machine coming out. Difficult from the time you were born. From the time you were 1 till 4, you were continuously yelled at, mistreated, all the way from infant age.
Yes.
Then you were in foster care, you said, from 4 years old to 18?
Well, I was in foster care from 4 to 18, but I actually had gotten out for like 4 or 5 years. My dad beat the living shit out of me one day when I was 8 years old, and I ended up going to live with my aunt and uncle, and I was out of the system all the way till I was 13, and then they couldn't handle me. Like, they couldn't handle me. I was lashing out. I was doing drugs. I was running away. I was having sex. I was doing everything. So then I got put back in the system, and then I spent my time in different foster care systems, different facilities, group homes, and I was always mistreated in those. Basically, they saw me as just a bag of money. They didn't care about us. They didn't care about the kids.
Mm-hmm.
The father was actually coming in and molesting some of the kids, and we would talk. We'd say something, and nobody wanted to listen to us. And it wasn't until about 4 or 5 of us came forward that they were like, okay, well, something's going on. But here we are. We're troubled teens. So obviously they're gonna sit there and be like, oh, they're making this up. They're just trying to, be drama or whatever. But then they found out that it was true. And they ended up going to jail or whatever.
But the foster parents went to jail?
Yeah.
That's good to know. I'm happy to hear that, because a lot of foster parents, unfortunately, nowadays are in it for the money and not really in it for the children because they care. And that's a perfect example of that. And it's also a perfect example of our corrupt system of how Child Protective pretends like they're there for our children to protect them, but it took 4 or 5 children just for them to finally do something. And that is sad. And that's a whole nother topic for another podcast, but that's something too that definitely needs to be addressed. Too many children get left in abusive homes and situations that they shouldn't be in, and these workers don't do nothing about it because the loopholes in the laws and the system, different things like that.
They don't do nothing about it. I mean, it's the check to them. That's all it is. Another kid gets placed with them. They're getting paid for it.
And so you said your father even did the same thing as your foster father?
No, my actual father.
Oh, wow.
My father and then my foster father did the same thing that my father did.
Wow.
But I kind of want to rewind back for a minute. This is something that I've barely ever talked about. Whatever. I was 7 years old. They ended up putting me back. My dad ended up getting rights for me or whatever. So they came and picked me up. I did not want to leave. And basically, long story short, he took me to a cabin and he beat the shit out of me and then fucking hooked jumper cables to me. And the place where I was at, it was at that time it was a foster care, but these people were loving, caring. To this day, I still stay in contact with her. I call her my mom. We talk all the time, and that was the only loving foster care I've ever been in. Every other one of them, it was just check after check after check, and we don't care what the hell you're doing. You could be sitting there doing drugs in front of us, and we don't care. And they used to do drugs in front of us. But yeah, I mean, I've been through a lot of shit. I could sit here and tell you tons of shit that I've been through, but so basically when I turned 18, I got out the system. They told me I could sign myself out the system. So I signed myself out the system. I came back to Syracuse, where I'm at now. I started getting into drugs. I was really bad into drugs. I was doing everything. I was homeless. I slept on other people's couches. It's, where I'm at now. I mean, I have my own place. I've been here for 3.5 years. I've been, where I'm at now is I have my own studio. I make my own music. I produce all my own music, and music has become my drug. Music's my drug. I've been clean from drugs for 3.5 years now, and I will never go back, and I will never touch another drug in my life, never, because it's not worth it. It's not worth going. It's not worth just getting high and throwing it all away. Because I know if I go out and I get high again, I might not ever come back from it. And also I have epilepsy, so then on top of everything, I can't sit there and risk it. So I mean, like, and also like I shared with you yesterday, I was diagnosed being HIV positive when I was in 2000.
And why don't you tell everybody what helped you really get out of, I should say, what really helped you find the strength to keep carrying on, and to like what would you say helped give you the strength and the courage to really just keep going and stay motivated?
Music, because it gives me a voice. It gives me a platform to speak about my life and speak about my story and to get that pain out, rather than pulling a blade out and cutting myself, or rather than taking a bottle of pills and trying to overdose or drinking myself to death. I've been there, done that. I've had multiple suicide attempts, and like, it hasn't worked for a reason. I'm still here for a reason. And music's helped me, and also I work for the HIV Care Network for CNY. I'm actually part of 7 different councils for New York statewide, and that keeps me going too. Being HIV positive these days, it doesn't faze me. I know more about HIV than a lot of people do, because you know what? There's so much more to it than just it being a disease. There's so much work that's being done behind the scenes. There's so much stuff that we continue to do to improve the care for people who have HIV, and improve the services for people who have HIV, because there's so much that goes along with it. I mean, there's a lot of people that are without housing, that are transportation, or nutrition. I mean, there's just so many different things that will, that go along with it. So I'm proud to say that, yeah, I'm HIV positive, but you know what? I'm out here doing the work for the people who have HIV and that are afraid to speak up and are afraid to talk about it, and just need somebody to have a voice for them. And that's what I am. I'm that voice for them.
And I have to say, I think your story is very inspirational, very motivating, and very touching. And I really admire how you pulled your strength and your courage, and you decided to overcome those feelings of depression and everything, and really, and be there still to help people. So many people did you wrong your whole entire life, and you're definitely here for a reason. God has definitely made you one of a kind. A lot of people would be very angry still, have a lot of hatred still, and would be very suicidal still. And I want to say, first off, I thank God that you're not in that place, that mental state anymore, and that music can be therapy to you.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I still have my dark times. You know, when I feel, you know, sometimes when I feel like I'm falling, I feel like I'm falling into a hole. You know, and it's hard to get out of there because
Well, you know, when you feel like that, you can always call me. Just know that, you know, because, you know, you definitely have a lot of light and love to share and give, like you've been doing with your music, your messages in your music. By the way, you guys definitely need to check out his music. You know, we're here talking about mental health, but, you know, on a side note, he uses his music as therapy, and he has great messages in his music to help motivate people that are feeling maybe depressed and suicidal or some kind of way. His music really can help. It's King Wavvy on all platforms. That's Wavvy with 2 V's. And, you know, I think it's a very touching story. And a lot more people, I hope, can, you know, be inspired by this. I hope, and be motivated by this. And just know, to anyone that's watching this later, that we are here to talk if anyone needs to talk. We know what it's like to struggle. You know, we know what it's like to, you know, be in a dark place and still be able to come out and be successful. And, you know, it's definitely not easy thing to do either. You know, it's definitely very hard to do. You definitely need to dig deep down to find that strength and that courage and that motivation, of course. So, you know, I have to say I'm very proud of you too. Very proud to see how well you've been managing, and where you were at to where you're at now is amazing. You definitely should pat yourself on the back and be proud of yourself too. I really hope you are. You definitely have an amazing story, and to see where you're at now from the way things were, that's very, very motivating. And and being an advocate for other people with HIV, that is such a huge thing, because so many people shy away from that because they act like they're ashamed, or they don't want to talk about it, or they don't want no one to know. And we need more people like you. We need more people like you advocating. We need more people like you telling your story. You know, a lot of people have stories that are just might be too embarrassed or shy, or, you know, ashamed, or whatever the case is, to share their story. But salute Christopher Cheney from Worldwide Collaborations LLC. Shout out to them. Worldwide Collaborations, worldwide dominators.
There's also something I haven't told a lot of people. I'm actually writing a book. It's called Been Through Hell.
That's awesome. I think you should. I'm definitely going to be starting mine too, but I definitely think you should write a book about everything you've been through. And make sure when you write your book, you put some of them details in there to make that book really good. Bestseller.
Oh, it's already started. I got about 3 chapters. I'm about 3 chapters.
Awesome. See, that's what I'm talking about. You know, someone that doesn't just talk about it, he be about it. You know, he does what he says. He doesn't even say, he just does, you know. And that's awesome. You know, I'm always happy to see artists take an initiative, no matter what form of art it is, or creativity, or whatever you're doing. Most definitely. Looks like something popped up, like another device is trying to join. Did you try to add another device? Device is not good. It's saying it's not connected if you did. Can you hear me okay? Hello? I know we're a little laggy. Okay. I don't know who's in the queue trying to come up, but they said you have to connect your microphone and your cam before I can add you. So It's not even showing me who it is. That might have been him trying to come in on another. Oh, didn't notice my screen was a little dirty there. Kind of rushing today, guys. Sorry, we got started about 10-15 minutes late. I didn't even have time to. The screen was dirty. Time to do my makeup or anything. But oh well. Okay, here we go. There we go. All right. Was that you trying to add another device?
No, for some reason my internet keeps going in and out.
Oh, okay. Maybe that was someone else trying to come in.
Well, it's snowing here, so I don't know. Maybe it's messing with the connection or whatever.
Oh.
Yeah, what happened is I was deleting Facebook groups and I was doing it.
Oh, okay, yeah. So,
okay.
that probably was Chris trying to come in to let me know what's going on. We did have it streaming because we have it streaming on the YouTube and Twitter for worldwide, but the other Facebook pages at first wasn't picking up and going through for me. Only my Facebook pages were, so I had to contact Chris to get the other platforms going. So because we want to make sure every artist has exposure, every artist gets heard, every artist gets seen and heard, and their name gets known. We want every artist to have as much exposure as possible. Stop trying to talk so fast. So yeah, it was a little laggy here and there, but it's been good for the most part. So that's good. But after everything, what would be your advice to someone maybe going through some things you went through? What would be your advice to them right now?
If you're going through hell, keep on walking because it doesn't last forever. Depression doesn't last forever. Mental health, yes, it lasts forever, but it's all about how you look at it. It's all about what you do with it. It's all about the way you handle yourself. Because if you allow yourself to just sit there and wallow in self-pity, oh me, woe me, like, why this happened to me, instead of like looking at it like, okay, well, this happened. Maybe there's got to be a reason behind it. Maybe this happened because, it wasn't meant to be, or just things were just too toxic or whatever, whether it be a relationship or anything that's going on in your life. Everything has a reason. I say this because it's the truth. Some people are in your life for a season, and some people are in your life for a reason. And at the end of the day, you got to figure out which ones are there just for the season, which ones are there just for the now, and which ones are going to be the ones that are going to stay forever. And you have to be very, very cautious about who you let in your life, because there are some people that'll come into your life for a reason, but for all the wrong reasons. If you sit there and you allow yourself to be talked down to, or you allow people to sit there and walk all over you, of course people are always going to think, okay, well, you know what, this person doesn't care, this person don't care what I do, what I say, I'm always going to get away with it. You have to be able to stand up, stand tall. I have a hashtag that I came up with a long time ago. Hashtag stand together, not apart. We gotta stand together as one. We have to stand together as one unit, because you can't just fight it. You can't fight a war with just one person. You have to have a whole bunch of people to fight that war, because it's not going to be easy, and life is not easy. It's always going to be hard, and nothing in life comes easy. If nothing worth in life comes easy. You always got to work for it, and if something seems like it's coming too easy, then it obviously just is not meant to be. So finally, I would just say, what, if you're feeling depressed, you're going through anything, my inbox is always open. I'm ready to I'm here to talk, I'm here to listen. We can share stories, we can go back and forth with whatever we're going through. Also, I have a talk show. Me and my brother Solo, we have a talk show called Get Down in the Nitty Gritty. If you want to come down, come on there, and you want to talk about your stories and talk about what's going on. We will be live on Thursday, 7 o'clock Central Time, 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Come on there, join us, and let's really talk about mental health. Let's talk about what we can do to help each other to stand up. What we can do to help each other to stand up, and to help each other to keep each other up instead of knocking each other down.
Most definitely. I think that's all great advice. Most definitely. And I say that, when I'm representing women empowerment, and that goes not just for women, but for everybody. We need to be building each other up. I most definitely agree with that, and not tearing each other down. Most definitely.
We can't. We can't. Life is too short. Life is way too short. If you sit there and you tear each other down instead of build each other up, you're gonna waste away your life. And so the one thing is I don't like to hear is I'm perfect, because nobody's perfect. We all have imperfections. We all have things that we're fighting. Whether we show it or not is up to us. But we all have things that we're fighting. Nobody's perfect. Perfection is just a word. It's just a word to make somebody feel better about themselves. But nobody's perfect. And people that bully people, only bullies bully people. At the end of the day, somebody's bullying you is because they're fighting something against themselves that they're uncomfortable with and that they don't like about themselves. So if you allow yourself to get beat down by a bully, just remember that bully has his flaws too. He has something that he's fighting against. So nobody's perfect in this world.
Right. Most definitely. Of course, when I have a show, everything starts happening. But I am so happy. I literally just was sitting here. I don't want anyone to think I'm crazy because, we're talking about something so serious, and I read a message and I start smiling. But I literally just got a job, another job. So
there you go. That's what's up.
Yes, thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So it's it's not, it's commission based. So definitely got to work hard, but always I work hard at anything I do. So that's no thing, but it's like collections. I'm going to be one of those collectors calling you your phone.
Great. I'll be watching out.
Don't hang up on me. Don't cuss me out or hang up on me. But yes, I just got a job doing collections. It's a new company. Thank you, Chris. It's a new company. So it's going to take time to build up the clientele and stuff and make a ton of calls, of course, first. But, the first week until we really get the phones ringing and stuff like that, he's still going to make sure, we make something for our time or off of each sale we make. So I'm really excited about it because it's something I need, money right now, there's other things I'm working on, but the commission base is maybe only once a month. And, you're getting paid and stuff. And I have 4 kids. I can't just always go off commission once a month. That's just not happening with 4 kids. No. So I need to always find another, everyone's like, how do you have so many jobs? I'm like, don't even ask me. I don't know.
Don't ask and I won't tell.
Don't ask. No, I don't. I literally, because I'm going to be starting another job soon too. But you could do a lot of things from home. A lot of people always say there's no work, but there is work. There's work you can even do from home. And if you don't know where, holler at me. I'll give you recommend a few places for you. We're also looking for good collectors. I'm always looking for, people to do something, I could definitely use an assistant. I just can't get one yet. Unless you're really down for the cause and willing to work for free for a while.
Listen, We will talk. I'm gonna hit you up about that.
Yeah, most definitely, most definitely. I could always use a little help too, just like everybody. But I am very excited about this job because I will be even though I'll be a collector making calls, I'll also be doing, you can say like the administrative aspect as well in managing. And yeah, actually, while I'm talking about it, I'm recruiting new hosts for the partying app, partying.sg. It's an audio broadcasting app, a podcast app, so it's no video involved. You send gifts back and forth to each other to help each other eat. You make 70% commission off of each gift you receive. So if I send you, say, for example, I send Brandon 1,000 diamonds, I'm getting 700 back still. You feel me? So they have also a lot of like PKs, different bonus events and stuff you can do now too to get different bonuses and gifts and stuff. But I would be the one training you on the app and teaching you everything. And to be an MC host is what they call it on the app. And then there's a panel of 8 people under the MC host bubble. And then the comments, of course, and people can throw gifts or whatever. But all the ins and outs of the app, I would teach you. It's really not that difficult. Once you learn what all the functions, all the buttons do, it's not that hard. All you would do really when you are being an MC host is invite, when people come in the room, you greet them. Hey, welcome to the Peach Empire room. I have my own agency room. It's an official music room on the app. So you go on there, you can promote your music, play your music on there. Literally, it's an official music room on there. So where people can literally pay you to perform. Like in the comments, it'll say 30 diamonds for an audition. You do 30 seconds of a song. 300 diamonds. They drop you 300 diamonds, you do the full song. So you could be making money, making diamonds in this process of still performing and promoting your own music too. So anyone that's interested, please hit me up. Give me 1 second. Someone's at my door. Who is it? Oh, hey, I'm in the middle of a podcast. So just, give me a few minutes here. Just finishing up the show. All right. My uncle came to surprise me. He's so nice. Every blue moon, he'll come and surprise me and smoke a joint with me. He's the best uncle. But anyway, on another note, like we were talking about, I am recruiting hosts for the show. So now I'm talking about the show. I am recruiting hosts for the app. So it is like our own show pretty much in that room. Because, we play music. You might even hear me singing in there. Bring your earplugs. No, I'm joking. So.
I'm definitely coming now.
So most definitely, I had a joke on myself, But most definitely, anyone that's interested in making a little change, hit me up. You get, like I said, 70% commission off of each gift you receive. Gifts you throw out, you're still getting diamonds back. Like, it's really a no-brainer. It's a win-win for everybody. Everyone's helping each other eat by throwing gifts. And at the same time, you're able to promote your music. I mean, I really can't, say how much more better it could be than that, in my opinion. But I have an actual agency on there called the Peach Empire Agency. So anyone that is interested, let me know. I'm not just a recruiter or not just a trainer, nothing like. I have my own agency on there. So it'll be my agency you're under. I will train you as my host. By the time I'm done training you, you will know every button on that app, So yeah, most definitely anyone that's interested, let me know. And I think, we're going to wrap it up. There is a couple more pointers, actually, a couple more things I wanted to discuss first before we wrap it up.
While you're doing that, I just want to say, you know what? Congratulations on your job.
Thank you.
And we'll be talking more about everything else.
Oh yeah,
And
most definitely.
God works in mysterious ways, doesn't he?
Most definitely, most definitely. Hit me up. We'll definitely network and talk more about whatever you're interested in. We'll make it happen.
Just
And
let me know when you get some time, and we'll put everything together.
thank you, Chris. I appreciate the shout out. Major shout out to you as well. Chris Cheney, y'all, leader of Worldwide Dominators, Worldwide Collaborations. Um, one more thing I'm just gonna point out, and then we're gonna wrap it up. I have so many more notes anyway. We're gonna go over all week. I will have the flyer out later today. You're welcome. I appreciate you, Chris. I'm gonna have the flyer out later today for tomorrow's podcast at what time and everything. But because it might be a little later in the day than today's was. So most definitely gonna hit you up or hit me up after the show.
I got you.
I was so happy to see you went to school today. I'm sorry, my son just walked in from school. But your school told me you were absent, so you must have been late, right? Yeah. If they're only 10 minutes late for homeroom, they're marking these kids absent for the whole day, and I think that's unfair. Like, I feel like I need to do a damn petition. Like, he could be, I know you're not supposed to be late at all, but 10 minutes, y'all can't just let him slide for 10 minutes. And then the whole freaking day they have him absent for, like, that's just ridiculous. But anyway, they do that there too. Yeah, it's like crazy. It's like 10 minutes. I know when I was younger, when I was in high school, like, I don't even want to say it because I don't want him to think like that. But I used to think sometimes, then what's the damn point? You know, if I'm going to be marked absent anyway for the whole day, that's, you know. But I'm happy he still goes and went and, you know, he's getting his work in and getting everything done. We're trying to make sure we pass freshman year, go on to being a sophomore next year.
Oh, yeah.
I have my 10 and 11-year-old. Since we're on the topic, though, before we go, I have to brag a little bit because my 5th and 6th grader also just got honor roll. So they both got honor roll awards as well. I went to that ceremony last week for their awards, too. So, you know, everyone's doing great. The kids are doing great in school. I can't be more proud. Thank you. Yes. So, you know, it could be hard sometimes balancing that time with them and work and everything. So, you know, I'm just happy too that, you know, I've raised them to where, you know, if they have to do their work, they do their work. They take that initiative. Like that word initiative, I've been using a lot today, but it is so important to take initiative for things that you really want to do and accomplish. And that's in anything. Thank you, Chris. Yes, they both got honor roll. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, yes. It's definitely difficult juggling everything, but you know, it makes me so proud to see them doing so amazing. Just so proud. Very proud mom.
That's awesome.
So I will definitely talk to everyone later, though. I have to call back this person, Ashley, that hit me up about the jobs. He tried to call me, and I told him I'm in the middle of the show, which he knew I was doing. And so he said congratulations and told me about the job or whatever. So I have a couple calls and stuff to make, but let's see what's going on with that. And then I'll have the flyer up in a little while. I didn't get a chance, unfortunately, to post this one on the feed, only in my stories. So you'll probably see this one, like the flyer I did for this show. I'm still going to post in my feed just so it's up there and people know they can go back and look at it. So if you guys are wondering why she posted when we just finished the show, that's why. So people can still go back and see, oh, okay, it's about this, and they might want to check it out. But I'm also going to have the new flyer posted too when I finish it. I've actually been doing my own flyers too. So it's taking a little more time. I usually just pay to have someone do it, but I've been trying to save money lately. So to save some money, I've just been having to spend a little more time to do my own flyers. But most definitely love your faces. I appreciate you being on the show again and telling your story. Your story is definitely very inspiring and motivating. And I hope, you know, people go back and listen to this and really get the gist of, just keep pushing. Keep pushing. Don't ever give up. Stay strong, and you will make it out of whatever you're going through. You'll overcome it.
Reach one, teach one.
Right, exactly. Amen. And until next time, I will see everyone later. Oh, no problem. It was a pleasure having you on the show. I appreciate you being here.
Yes, definitely. And we will talk. I'm going to message you a little bit later on.
Yeah, most definitely. If I don't hit you up in a little bit, just hit me up.
All right, I got you.
All right, cool. Good to see you again.
Yes, you too.
All right, guys. You guys heard it. Please make sure you guys share. You guys love. You guys follow. Make sure you're following King Wavvy too on all streaming platforms. You can hear his music. You guys got to check out his music. King Wavvy with 2 V's in Wavy. Definitely a lot of good messages in his music. A lot of dope content to help motivate those with mental health that might need some motivation. Definitely some good music to listen to. So,
oh, by the way, I just got my studio up and running. So anybody that wants to work, I'm ready to work.
Oh, awesome! And he just got the studio going again. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate it. Chris said, "Great job, guys. Great show."
Thank you.
So just so you know, yes, most definitely. Thank you, Chris. We appreciate that. And until next time, guys, we're gonna play actually the first single on the album, GFM2, the track Fast by Trill Will. And then we're going to do the outro and wrap up the show. I hope everyone has a great, blessed day. And I will see everyone tomorrow for another show on mental health awareness.
Count it fast, no won't ease up, coming fast. Gotta speed up, coming fast. Gotta re-up, count it fast. How your trap bumping, never heard of you. Nip tucking all these extra artists, some are gonna be surgical. R.I.P. dead, serve departed, right? Howard on the vertical. Pull your pants up, Urkel do. You ain't never shot nobody, never had a Harley. You can't rock a party. Is you got the Harley? Or is you pressed like Cardi? Down the move, but get out the way. 100 grand sandwich, now I just need me a plate, a meal ticket. Breadwinner, Kevin Gates. Bring me out like Rod Wave. Trilly gon' splash, I'ma catch the wave. Now it's raining like the sun shining, it's a better day. Step outside, I can meditate. Backwood, jumping fast. Gotta speed up, going fast. Gotta re-up, coming fast. Gotta re-up, count it fast. Gotta ease up, no way, no sir, I can't ease up. No way, no sir, I can't ease up, coming fast. Gotta speed up, going fast. Gotta re-up, count it fast. I can't ease up, no way, no sir,
I can ease up, no way, no sir. That's my joint right there. That's the song when you're out on the hustle. You feel me? Y'all got to listen to that shit all the way through. That's the song right there.